sleepy little delta town of Belzoni, Mississippi, at a beautiful little park here that is known as the Sky Lake Boardwalk. And, yep, it's me, for real. Anyway, I came out here this morning, had to get out of the house, and wanted to fly my drone, which I did. And thank goodness it ended in a good day as far as drone flying goes. But it didn't start out so hot. The minute I got the drone airborne, it just had a mind of its own. And matter of fact, I crashed it. It crashed right over there in those trees. And thank goodness I had prop guards on it. The prop guards took the impact, but I was standing over here in this little clearing at the end of the building here, and we'll talk about Sky Lake here in just a moment. And once I got it up in the air, it took off just heading this way. I mean, it was just almost out of control. And I suspect it was the prop guards. They may have had it out of balance or something like that. Anybody that flies drones, anybody that knows anything about flying, period, you know, it's like the old saying, if God had intended for man to fly, he would have gave him wings. So avionics is not child's play. So anyway, just to give you a quick rundown on Sky Lake and why I'm here, I like to come out here. M.K. Davis introduced me to this place. And that's the wonderful thing about MK. He has shown me so many things. He has opened up a whole different world for me that I did not know existed or could exist. And I'm very grateful for that. And I always make sure when I'm doing something that I include MK. And when you hear me say his name so much, it's because I'm very appreciative of him teaching me and showing me and taking me under his wing, and, you know, taking me to all these amazing places that I never would have went to if it had not been for, you know, the type of research and things that he does and that I now do. And Sky Lake is one of them. I was introduced to Sky Lake because MK came out here, and during the course of a week, he was hearing these strange, the boardwalk's back over here. We're going to walk up here. And just to kind of back up for a second, the complex here is just a beautiful, well-kept, well-cleaned site that you can bring your family to. And it doesn't, I'm not talking about something spooky or scary, even though I'll get to that in a minute. There have been some weird things that have happened. You know, this is a beautiful place that you could bring your family to. It's one of those Mississippi secrets that is right there in your backyard. I've lived in the central part of Mississippi most of my life. I had absolutely no idea this was over here until MK showed it to me. But it's a beautiful little park, and they've got buildings here that you could no doubt have a conference or a family reunion up in. There's a beautiful old cemetery, as you can see right over there. And, you know, it's just a gorgeous place. I mean, you know, not even talking about anything cryptid or paranormal for the moment. It's just a beautiful place that you could bring your family to. We're gonna walk up here, and you know, you've got a little, you know, area that you could, you know, give a speech, demonstrations, outdoor program, whatever you want to do. And just have an absolute ball. It's clean, it's safe, and it's just absolutely beautiful, as you can see. Now, back over here, we'll probably hit that before we go here. I tell you, well, let's go ahead and do that now. Over here is, I guess what you'd call the kayak ramp area where you would put your kayak in the water. Now, with everything that's in the water out here in a place like this, because where you are is inside of a ancient, beautiful, gorgeous cypress swamp. Now, I don't think I'd want to be in the water with what all is out here. But you can see here, you know, this is where you would go. You would go on back, and it's marked. It's highlighted by means of signs where you could follow this kayak trail. Now, again, going back to, and we'll walk on around, I'll show you some more. Again, what brought me out here with M.K. Davis that first time was he had been out here on the boardwalk, which is a beautiful boardwalk. I mean, this thing will take you way back up in the swamp to see these gorgeous ancient cypress trees. And it may be flooded where we can't get down to it and walk it, but we'll see. But he had made a discovery out here years previous. He had found what can undoubtedly be referred to as a Bigfoot structure. And so this was a place that was on his radar. And it's never left my radar. I enjoy coming out here just to hike and get some exercise and walk around. So anyway, he came out, and over the course of a week, he began hearing these horn type sounds emanating from deep in the swamp. And it was like a horn / moan. At times it would be kind of high, at times it would be kind of low. And he followed up on this for several days, culminating in he and I coming out. And together, we had a heck of an interesting day. The first thing that happened to us, we got on the boardwalk and we got down toward the end where we were really hearing these sounds. And both of us simultaneously, I mean at the exact same time, we got hit with a wave of nausea. I mean, we both thought that we were going to be throwing up, you know, over the rail of the boardwalk. And you can see here, this is the entrance to the boardwalk. And this thing goes way back. I'm not sure if it tells us how far it goes back here or not. I don't remember. I stand to be corrected, folks, but I want to say a quarter of a mile. I could be wrong. But while we're standing here in the peace of it, I'll tell you this: we're hearing these sounds as we're coming down the boardwalk. And again, we stopped. I began getting equipment ready, and just out of the blue, we both got sick at our stomach. And you know, if one of us got sick, you would say, well, that was something that Marcus ate for breakfast, or that was something MK ate for breakfast. We didn't eat together that morning, so it wasn't anything that we ate together. He ate it. I think he got something from a local restaurant. I ate at home. So for both of us to get sick at the same time, to me, it just smacked of infrasound. And you know, it just got weirder as the afternoon progressed. I think when MK first started hearing these sounds, it was building up to a crescendo, and it culminated in, while we were there, I have audio clips of it, and it was just phenomenal. It was coming from 3 different areas in front of us out into the deep part of the swamp. and it was just these these moaning type sounds. And we double checked, you know, we checked other types of wildlife sounds and things like that, and we couldn't find anything like it. So, you know, what was it? We don't know. It could have been something just completely natural, an animal or animals or reptiles, you know, doing something out there that would have been perfectly normal. Who knows? It could have been something paranormal, maybe. Could it have been something cryptid? Well, that's where MK was leaning, and that's kind of where I leaned, because it would react to us. I would walk up and down the boardwalk, and when I was walking, nothing would happen. I'd stop, and it would start up again. I would go back to where MK was. It would stop while I'm walking. When I got back by MK, it would take up again. Eventually, it was coming at us so fast and so furious. The sounds were that MK cut the bottom out of a water bottle that I had, and he began making these kind of weird blowing type horn sounds in the bottle, and it was almost like it was responding back. So what was it? I don't know. We don't know. But it was certainly weird. It was certainly strange. And again, when you take into the fact too that MK made a discovery of a tree structure out here, then, you know, there you go. It's no doubt in my mind that there is activity out here. And I'm talking about Bigfoot activity. When you look at so many areas throughout the South, when you look at Fouke, Arkansas, the home of the legendary Fouke monster, legend of Boggy Creek swamps. Over in East Texas has just bukus of Bigfoot activity and swampy areas. In fact, when you stop and look at so many things, so many areas where you find Bigfoot activity and encounters, especially in the deep South, they're in places just like what you're looking at here. So, when MK found the structure, again, I think that kind of put this place on his radar. And months later, when I started going out on investigations and research outings with him, we came back and found the structure, went to the structure. It was pouring down rain. We had water literally up to, we were wading in it. The water was up to our crotch. Pouring down rain, but we were just determined that we were going to see the structure. We wanted to make sure that it was still there. I had never seen it, so I was just, I was way gung-ho on finding it and seeing it, and we did. So it was really an awesome day and an awesome experience. And as far as the going back to the moaning and horn type sounds, don't know what it was, but it was definitely odd. It was high strangeness, to say the very least. This moaning horn type sound, and there's nobody that lives back up in there. There's nobody out there blowing horns or playing trumpet and, you know, putting on a concert out there for the animals. This was something entirely different, and it was just the whole time. I mean, the fact that both of us got sick, which smacked of infrasound, and as a lot of you know that research and investigate Bigfoot, and for those of you that don't, Bigfoot is said to emit infrasound, and the infrasound is to let you know, hey, I know you're here. You need to move along, and this ought to help you along your way. So the fact that we got hit with what I believe was infrasound, the horn moaning type sounds, and then all the other things. Sky Lake is definitely a place, while not just really hot and not just crazy with stuff going on, it is definitely a place that is, you know, on the radar. So a lot more to come about Sky Lake, and probably my next entry about Sky Lake, we'll talk about the structure that was found, and I'll show you some pictures and some video of it. So for now, this is Marcus signing off, and I hope you enjoyed this clip, and I hope you'll check back at the YouTube page and on Facebook, the Unexplained Collective, and I hope you're enjoying it. I mean, I'm enjoying it. It's fun to do this stuff and, you know, put it up for you guys to see. That's just one of the fun things about being an investigator and a researcher, going to these beautiful places, and you never know what you're going to find. So, that being said, this is Marcus signing off from the Boardwalk, Sky Lake, Belzoni, Mississippi. Catch you later.